I really hope Love Island has some type of how do I say this? Like either a therapist or somebody that will help these contestants transition back from the villa back into the real world. Especially for this season and hopefully next season moving forward, because a lot of the things happening are through social media and online, and a lot of people aren't strong enough or don't have the mental fortitude to just jump back from this whole experiment into a world where now everybody hates them, everybody knows who they are, and they have all these negative things and connotation put on them from people who don't know who they are. Like, I'm not saying I feel bad for you, Lisa, or anything because you decided to use a slur. Um, but I think there's a difference between, and again, not making any excuses, but there's a difference between using a slur towards a person in a derogatory way, knowing that you're trying to purposely hurt them, versus you just saying a word and saying something that you don't necessarily, and maybe you do know the connotation behind it, but you don't mean it in that way, or have that much passion or necessarily anything negative behind it when you say it. I hope that makes sense, and I'm not saying that it's okay. There's a difference, I feel like, between that and you coming back and getting all this hate and getting attacked. Because I feel like if you're trying to say something derogatory to hurt somebody, you deserve all that hate. And I don't believe in bullying, but I do believe in bullying, kind of. Just actually, let me take this back. Hold on. I think that there's a difference, and I think the way in which it should be treated should be different. I think education is one thing, and I think having a conversation is something that should be important, especially with somebody who doesn't understand why what they said was wrong, or they're not saying it in a derogatory way. All that to say is, right, I really, really hope that the producers. Oh, my point was, right, Ulisa said that when she went after she was pulled, she just sat in a room for 2 days. That can literally make somebody go crazy. If you know that you did something wrong and you don't have access to your phone and you don't have access to the real world or access to anything, to just sit there for 2 days is a lot. So now Sierra's coming out of the village and she's about to get all this hate, but I'm sure she had to sit in her room for maybe a day or two before she received her phone, before she got anything. And now you're gonna receive an influx of hate after you didn't expect any of that. Now you've been in a villa where you don't know what time it is. You're only allowed to make one meal a day for yourself, and the rest of it is catered. You don't have access to your phone, to social media. Like, you essentially just went through this whole thing dry, and now you're just being dumped into this. I really, really hope that the production or just the TV show itself has something, some way, somehow, to where they can easily help people retransition back into society, if that makes sense, some way, somehow. Because I just think that is a recipe for disaster, and God forbid somebody does something to themselves because of that. I can understand and see why, because that is like a lot. Like, I can only imagine going into somewhere not really being known, maybe having a couple of 100,000 followers, and now I go back and have almost 1 million followers, and a lot of it is just hate, or people telling me things about myself when that's not who I am, or people's just opinions just because they like somebody else and maybe they don't like me as much. Like, I can see why Clark may be hurting inside because people don't like her because of Taylor. Like, I can see why that would bother somebody. All that to say is, Love Island producers, if you happen to watch this, please just help those people transition, whether you think they're good people or bad people or anything in between. I think that is super duper important, especially for people's mental health, because that is something really, really difficult, and I don't know how I would handle it. I know that mentally I'm strong, all these, that, and third, but to have millions of people doing that at an influx, especially like I said, going from not having any to a whole bunch, going from not having my phone to having it, all that at once, yeah, that would be a lot. So I just hope they do that.